Formula One just dropped a bombshell. Every team, every car, unveiled in one massive spectacle. We've got shocking liveries, major driver moves, and a few surprises that could shake up the entire grid. Is Hamilton's Ferrari dream finally here? Can Mercedes bounce back with a teenage sensation? And has Adrian Newey just given Aston Martin the secret weapon to take down Red Bull? Strap in, because we're about to break down everything you need to know about the F1 2025 launch. This wasn't just another car launch. This was Formula One making history. For the first time ever, all 10 teams revealed their 2025 challengers in a single, blockbuster event at London's O2 Arena. The energy? Electric. 15,000 fans packed the venue, millions more tuned in online, and the anticipation was off the charts. Every team, every livery, every question about the new season, answered in one night. And now, it's time to break it all down. Team by team, car by car, and find out who's really got the edge heading into 2025. Alright, let's get into the real action. The cars. 2025 brings new liveries, fresh driver lineups, and some serious upgrades under the hood. Some teams have played it safe, others have gone bold, and a few might have just pulled off a game-changing design. Let's break them down, one by one. Ferrari. The prancing horse goes all in. This is it, Lewis Hamilton in Ferrari red. The SF25 isn't just a car, it's a statement. Ferrari has refined their aerodynamics, worked on tire management, and improved power unit reliability, all to finally take down Red Bull. But is it enough? What's new? Better aero and tire management. Ferrari struggled with race pace in 2024. The SF25's new side pods and floor design aim to fix that. Engine upgrades, more reliability, better cooling, and a refined hybrid system for stronger performance. Rear suspension changes, improved traction and stability in high-speed corners, one of their key weaknesses last season. Hamilton and Leclerc, the ultimate lineup? Hamilton brings 7 world titles and unmatched experience. His leadership could be the key to Ferrari's first championship since 2007. Leclerc is lightning fast in qualifying but now faces his toughest challenge yet, beating Hamilton in equal machinery. The big question: can Ferrari manage 2 top-tier drivers without chaos? Ferrari's strengths. Hamilton's ability to develop a title-winning car. 1-lap speed. Ferrari was rapid in qualifying last year. Stability. Unlike Red Bull and Mercedes, Ferrari's technical team remains intact. Ferrari's weaknesses. Internal battles. Can they avoid a driver war? Strategy. Ferrari's race decisions have cost them before. Will 2025 be different? Reliability. Improved, but still a question mark. Is this the year? Ferrari has everything they need to fight for the title. But to win, they'll need to execute perfectly. On track, in strategy, and in team management. If they do, the dream of a Hamilton-Ferrari championship could finally become reality. Red Bull, still the team to beat? They've dominated F1 for the past 4 years, but 2025 feels different. The RB21 looks like a continuation of their winning formula, but there's one major change. Adrian Newey is gone. Is this the year Red Bull finally gets caught? What's new? Evolution, not revolution. The RB21 sticks to Red Bull's proven aero concept, refined side pods, optimized floor, and an even more efficient DRS. Post-Newey era begins. While Newey's influence remains, his absence raises questions. Can the team maintain its edge without him? Max Verstappen, the ultimate benchmark. Still the most dominant driver on the grid, chasing his 5th consecutive title. Red Bull's strengths. The best all-around package. Dominant in qualifying and race pace. Verstappen's consistency. His ability to extract 100% from any car is unmatched. Strategic brilliance. Red Bull rarely makes mistakes on race day. Red Bull's weaknesses. Losing Newey. How much of a difference will it make? Overconfidence. If Ferrari or Mercedes have closed the gap, Red Bull can't afford to get complacent. Pressure on Perez or his replacement. Can their second driver step up and support Verstappen? Can Red Bull stay on top? Make no mistake, Red Bull is still the favorite. But for the first time in years, there are real threats. If the RB21 isn't miles ahead, Verstappen could finally have a fight on his hands. For the first time in over a decade, Mercedes is without Lewis Hamilton. The W16 represents a clean slate, new concepts, a new driver lineup, and a chance to climb back to the top. But is this the car that finally brings Mercedes back into the title fight? What's new? Back to basics. After years of experimental designs, Mercedes has opted for a more conventional aero package, prioritizing consistency over extreme innovation. Russell takes charge. With Hamilton gone, it's now Russell's team. Can he step up as the clear leader? The Antonelli gamble. Mercedes is betting big on 18-year-old Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He's fast, but can he handle the pressure of F1's biggest stage? Mercedes' strengths. A more stable car. No more radical concepts, just refined performance. Russell is ready. He's been waiting for this leadership role. Antonelli's raw talent. If he delivers, Mercedes could have found their next superstar. Mercedes' weaknesses. Inexperience. Antonelli has never raced in F1. Will the pressure be too much? Is the car fast enough? Ferrari and Red Bull still seem a step ahead. Can they win without Hamilton? His leadership was crucial in past title fights. Can Mercedes bounce back? Mercedes isn't the dominant force they once were, but they're rebuilding. Aston Martin. Fading hype or real contender? Aston Martin started 2023 as Red Bull's biggest threat, but since then, their momentum has faded. The AMR25 is their latest attempt to fight at the front, but will it finally keep them there? What's new? Refined aerodynamics. Aston Martin has focused on improving race pace and tire management, their biggest weaknesses last season. Still running a customer Mercedes engine, but with new cooling and packaging improvements. At 43, Alonso is still delivering masterclass performances. But how much longer can he wait for a title fight? Aston Martin's strengths. Alonso's experience. No one extracts more from a car. Strong one-lap pace. Expect them to be competitive in qualifying. Stability. Unlike 2024, their development path seems clearer. Aston Martin has the potential, but they need a breakthrough. If the AMR25 delivers, Alonso could be fighting for podiums, or maybe more. If not, it might just be another season of what-ifs. Alpine, the dark horse, or just more midfield. Alpine has been stuck in the midfield for years. Flashes of brilliance, but never quite enough. The A525 promises to change that. But we've heard this story before. So, what's different this time? What's new? Aerodynamic refinement. Alpine's engineers focused on improving cornering speed and reducing drag, two areas where they fell behind last season. Power unit gains. Renault's engine isn't the strongest on the grid, but Alpine claims improved reliability and better energy recovery. Driver consistency. Gasly and Ocon remain a solid pairing, quick, experienced, and evenly matched. But can they work together without fireworks? Alpine's strengths. Strong chassis. Alpine's cars are often competitive in high downforce circuits. Consistent drivers. Both Gasly and Ocon know how to score points. Improved race pace. If their upgrades deliver, Alpine could threaten the top of the midfield. Alpine's weaknesses. Renault's engine. Still a step behind Mercedes, Ferrari, and Honda. Internal team politics. Alpine's leadership instability could hurt their development. Lack of top-end speed. Can they fight for podiums, or just best-of-the-rest finishes? Can Alpine surprise us? Alpine is betting on incremental improvements, but will that be enough in a field that's getting faster every year? If the A525 doesn't deliver, they risk falling further behind the top teams. Williams. The sleeping giant awakens? Williams has been on a slow but steady comeback, climbing out of the backmarker zone. But in 2025, can they take the next big step and fight for consistent points? What's new? More downforce, less drag. Williams has struggled with slow speed corners, but their 2025 car aims to fix that while maintaining their strong straight-line speed. Refined Mercedes power unit integration. A more efficient packaging of the engine could give them better reliability and performance. Albon leading the charge. He's been outstanding in dragging Williams forward. But does he finally have a car that matches his talent? Williams' strengths. Straight-line speed. Still one of the fastest on the straights. Albon's consistency. If given the tools, he can deliver big points. Smart strategy. Williams has made the most of opportunities in chaotic races. Williams' weaknesses. Cornering speed. Has their weakness in slow turns really been fixed? Sargent's performance. He needs to step up to avoid being a liability. Development pace. Can they keep up with the rapid upgrades of midfield rivals? Can Williams keep climbing? Williams is improving, but they're still a step behind the midfield leaders. If the FW47 is as balanced as they hope, points could become a regular sight, but podiums are still a distant dream. Kick Sauber. A new name, but a new era? It's a fresh identity for the team formerly known as Alfa Romeo, but is Kick Sauber really a new force? or just the same midfield struggler with a different name? What's new? New ownership, same challenges. Audi is coming in 2026, but for now, the team is still finding its footing under the Kick brand. Aerodynamic tweaks. The C45 aims to improve on last year's drag issues while maintaining good tire management. Bottas and Zhou, holding the fort. With Audi's arrival looming, both drivers need a strong season to secure their future. Kick Sauber's strengths. Decent reliability. They weren't plagued by major failures last season. Experienced driver in Bottas. His knowledge from Mercedes is still valuable. Financial stability. Audi's backing should help long-term development. McLaren. The biggest threat to Red Bull? McLaren ended 2024 as one of the fastest teams on the grid, taking the fight to Red Bull in multiple races. Now, with the MCL 38, they're not just aiming for podiums, they want wins. But do they finally have a car that can challenge for the title? What's new? Refined aero package. McLaren focused on maximizing downforce while keeping their car efficient in a straight line, an area where Red Bull has excelled. Better tire management. One of their key weaknesses in 2024 was tire wear over long stints. The MCL 38 aims to fix that. Unchanged, elite driver lineup. Norris and Piastri are arguably the best young pairing in F1, both hungry for their first win, and maybe more. McLaren's strengths. Rapid development. McLaren made the biggest improvements last season, and they're only getting stronger. Two race-winning level drivers, Norris and Piastri, are both capable of fighting at the front. Stability. No major internal changes, unlike Red Bull or Mercedes. McLaren's weaknesses. Race execution. Pit stops and strategy cost them big chances in 2024. Can they match Red Bull over a full season? Fast, yes. But are they consistent enough? Pressure. This is their best shot in years. Can they deliver when it matters most? Title contender or just a threat? McLaren is closer than ever to breaking Red Bull's dominance. If the MCL 38 delivers, this could finally be the season Norris and Piastri win big. But to fight for a championship, they'll need to be perfect. Haas. A new beginning or the same old struggles? Haas has been stuck at the back for years, but 2025 brings a new hope. With fresh investment, a revamped technical approach, and an all-or-nothing mentality, can they finally break free from the bottom? What's new? Stronger Ferrari partnership. Haas is using more Ferrari components than ever, hoping for a boost in performance. Focus on consistency. Their biggest weakness has been race day performance. Better tire management is a key target. Hülkenberg and Magnussen, the veterans stay. Experience is great, but is it time for Haas to take a risk on fresh talent? Haas strengths. Ferrari power. If the SF25 is strong, Haas could benefit. Two experienced drivers. No rookie mistakes here. Decent qualifying pace. Hülkenberg, in particular, has a knack for strong Saturdays. Haas weaknesses. Race pace. Historically one of their biggest flaws. Development speed. Can they keep up with the midfield teams? Long-term vision. Are they just surviving or truly aiming to move up the grid? Is this the year Haas moves up? Haas might improve, but breaking out of the backmarker zone won't be easy. If the VF25 is a step forward, they could battle in the midfield. If not, it's another long season at the back. Racing Bulls. More than just Red Bull's junior team? Racing Bulls, formerly AlphaTauri, is no longer just a junior team. With a new name, a fresh approach, and even closer ties to Red Bull, is this the year they become a real midfield powerhouse? What's new? Even closer Red Bull influence. The RB01 borrows more tech from the championship-winning RB21 than ever before. Aero optimization. Improved front-end grip and a stronger focus on cornering efficiency make this one of their most refined designs yet. Ricciardo and Tsunoda. The pressure is on. With Red Bull's 2026 lineup uncertain, both drivers need a big year to keep their F1 futures alive. Racing Bull's strengths. A more competitive car, arguably the best machinery they've had in years. Red Bull's backing, closer than ever to the main team's development path. Experienced driver lineup. Ricciardo's leadership and Tsunoda's raw speed make for a solid pairing. Racing Bull's weaknesses. Still a midfield team, despite the Red Bull tech, they're not fighting for podiums yet. Driver uncertainty. If neither Ricciardo nor Tsunoda impress, they could be replaced in 2026. Team identity. Are they a true independent outfit or just a Red Bull B team? A midfield force or just a Red Bull shadow? Racing Bulls has the tools to challenge the midfield leaders. But are they here to win, or just to develop talent for Red Bull? 2025 will tell us everything. The stage is set, the covers are off, and the 2025 Formula One grid is finally revealed. Every team has spent months fine-tuning their machines, searching for every last bit of performance. But now that we've seen them all, one question remains: who has the edge? Red Bull still looks like the team to beat, but for the first time in years, their lead isn't guaranteed. The RB21 is an evolution of their dominant design, but with Newey stepping away, will they still have that magic touch? McLaren is the biggest threat. Last year, they went from midfield strugglers to podium regulars, even taking the fight to Verstappen at times. If the MCL38 continues their upward trajectory, this could finally be their year. Ferrari can never be counted out either. The SF25 looks aggressive, and their one-lap pace could be lethal. But we've been here before. Will they finally get their strategy and tire management right when it matters most? Then there's Mercedes, the biggest wild card of them all. They've ditched their experimental concepts and gone for a more conventional design, but after years of struggles, have they really cracked the code? George Russell is stepping up as the new team leader, but how much will they miss Lewis Hamilton's experience? If the W16 is competitive, they could be a serious dark horse. Aston Martin is another team looking to bounce back. After a stunning start to 2023, they faded last season, but Alonso isn't ready to give up yet. They've worked on their race pace, something that cost them badly last year. But have they done enough? Meanwhile, Racing Bulls, formerly AlphaTauri, are closer than ever to their Red Bull counterparts. The RB01 borrows heavily from its big brother, but will that be enough to lift them into the fight with Aston Martin and Mercedes? The midfield battle is shaping up to be just as intense. Alpine has made small improvements, but will they be enough to keep them ahead of the likes of Williams, who have been quietly making progress? Alex Albon is driving at his peak, but the FW47 still needs to be a well-rounded package if they want to consistently score points. Sauber is in a transition year before Audi fully takes over, meaning their 2025 campaign could be more about survival than ambition. And then there's Haas, still searching for a way to break free from the back of the grid. With closer Ferrari ties than ever, could they finally have a car that's at least capable of fighting for more than just P19? With all of these storylines brewing, the 2025 season is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable in years. But speculation only goes so far. The real answers will come on track. Pre-season testing is our first glimpse into what's real and what's just hype. Will Red Bull still have the advantage? Has McLaren really caught up? And what about Ferrari? Have they finally built a car that can challenge across an entire season? Testing will give us some clues, but it's never the full picture. Some teams will sandbag, hiding their true pace. Others will surprise, showing speed they might not be able to sustain over a full campaign. Reliability issues, unexpected weaknesses. This is where we start to see the cracks before the real battle begins. Then, finally, we arrive at Bahrain. The first race. The moment of truth. No more predictions, no more theories. Just pure racing. This is where champions set their tone, where underdogs prove their worth, where dreams either take flight or come crashing down. One thing is certain. The 2025 season is going to be a spectacle. And when those lights go out, the talking stops, and the racing takes over.